Okay, so for once in my life, I'm dropping a positive video. I know, it's crazy. We got sequels better than the original. Now, it's not to say that the original for any of these is bad. I'm just saying the sequel delivered. That's pretty much the synopsis of this video. Now, I think a good place to start with this video is Mario Galaxy 2. Now, Mario Galaxy 1 was absolutely fire, bro. Like, that was one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life. But Mario Galaxy 2 was even better. The mechanics got better. They got even more creative with the galaxies. The items were absolute peak. Like, the cloud mushroom is probably my favorite item in all of Mario. And the soundtrack, bro, it's just gonna bring a grown man to tears. That shit is so beautiful. And also, of course, we cannot forget they added Yoshi. Like, what else more can I say? And this is probably one of, if not, my favorite game I've ever played. I know I'm doing too many tricks on it, but listen, bro, it's just tough. And I really want them to drop a third one because I'm confident they could really deliver on a third one. Because when they did Mario Odyssey, I really enjoyed that game too. But yeah, overall, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 were just revolutionary for gaming as a whole. And it was also just a part of many of our childhoods, I'm sure. And I've gone back to both the games like pretty recently, and honestly, they still hold up to this day. I'm not just saying that just because of nostalgia. Like, dead ass, they're both very good games. Now we got Toy Story 2 and 3, and maybe 4 as well, but I haven't seen 4, so I can't really make a judgment on it. But all I can say is when Toy Story 3 dropped, I had to get in those theaters as soon as possible because my parents showed me the first and the second movie, and I loved it. So you already know I had to go in theaters to see the third one. The ending for Toy Story 3 was just perfect. Like, honestly, it was one of the greatest endings of all time. And at first, I was not expecting this pink strawberry smelling teddy bear to be the main villain of the movie. And this was one of my first times ever going to a movie theater. And I loved it. All right. I loved everything about the movie. And I even got a little Toy Story 3 bucket of popcorn to go with it to really enhance the experience, even though it was like $20. But can we just talk about how they topped the original twice? Like, that is just insane. Or even maybe 3 times. I don't know if 4 topped the original. I'm not really sure. I guess let me know what you think about it. But regardless, Toy Story was an absolute banger still. We cannot deny that. But Toy Story 3 was by far my favorite Toy Story. Love is Rage 2. Now, if you know anything about Lil Uzi, you know that Love is Rage was an absolute banger project. Like, it was one of his best, to be honest. But Love is Rage 2, he really did his thing on this, bro. Usually when artists make an album that's like a follow-up, it doesn't really go well. Like, for example, when NLE kept making Shot a Flow song. Eventually, it wasn't really gonna touch the original one, if that makes sense. But not only did he follow it up very well, but it just felt like its own project. It did not feel like a more watered down second version, if that makes sense. It just really delivered. Now, some of my favorite songs on there gotta be Sauce It Up, For Real, Neon Guts, 20 Minutes, Dark Queen, just to name a few. But not only that, this whole era, like the SoundCloud era, whatever you want to call it, it just changed rap. I just love it. Straight bangers from everybody. Well, some artists, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really like them, like Lil Xan. And now, speaking of albums, now we got Kanye's Late Registration and Graduation. Now, I think these are supposed to be follow-ups of College Dropout. I've listened to all 3 albums, and Graduation's my favorite. I'm sorry, I know that's like the most basic take ever, but I can listen to this shit with 0 skips. Like, I could just go through it, full album. But now we gotta address Kanye in 2025. Obviously, this dude's on some antics nowadays, so I will not be streaming the new Kanye music. But we all gotta at least agree that these 3 albums were, he was just on a run. Now, originally, when the whole Kanye thing happened, I was like, oh, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to listen to Kanye anymore. But, bro, I got to separate the art from the artist because all these projects before his Crash Out days, all of them were very good. To be honest with you, I'm not going to stop listening to them. I'm just going to separate the art from the artist because nowadays the artist is, yeah, you know what he's doing, bro. He's on a generational Crash Out run. Old Kanye will be listened to, but new Kanye, absolutely not. That's just how I feel about it. You know, as a person, obviously, I do not like him anymore, but I cannot sit here and act like his old albums were not generational. Now we got Monsters University. Now, Pixar in the early 2010s, bro, they were just on a roll with these sequels, bro. Like, they had Toy Story 3 and Monsters University in the span of 3 years. Like, that is crazy. Now, again, don't get me wrong, Monsters, Inc. is goated, of course. The amount of memories I've had watching the OG. The lore just all comes together with Monsters Monsters University. That's why I like it so much. Like, we find out why Randall's an op, first of all, because he got in with all the people that were considered quote-unquote cool because of his invisibility power. And after that, he just switched up on Mike. Like, he just pretended like he didn't know him. Like, that's just lame behavior. We find out how Mike and Sully met and that they weren't even friends in the first place. They quite literally forced themselves to be friends at first. And now look at them. In Monsters, Inc., they were just an unstoppable duo. Now, Mike and Sully have got to be considered an iconic duo. There's no way. Monsters University, it's more like a prequel, but yeah, I guess I'll still consider it a sequel. Now we got Plants vs. Zombies 2. Now, when I opened this game for the very first time, it just blew my mind. I feel like they got really creative with the worlds and the whole time traveling theme. I just really loved it. They had a bunch of plants to go along with each world as well. The boss fights were even crazier. The graphics got even better. There is now 206 plants in Plants vs. Zombies 2, which is honestly, that might be a little bit too many, but still, it just suits so many different playing styles. Well, some of them are only useful in certain worlds, but you get the point. But the original is still very good. Like, it still holds up to this day, in my opinion. I really like the simplicity of the original game, but the second one is just crazy, though. I was beyond excited when this shit came out, and I can't even begin to say how many times I've replayed this game. And also, I'm really sorry if I sound like super sick. You hear my voice crackling, but I don't know. I've been under the weather past few days, but I gotta power through the rest of this video. Wii Sports Resort. Okay, I gotta take this over the original Wii Sports. There's no way. There are so many different games in Wii Sports Resort. There's ping pong, there's basketball, even fucking jet skis. Like, once again, they basically just took Wii Sports and upped it a notch. Like, this is insane. And also with the Wii Motion Plus remotes, the controls got a lot better as well. Because I remember at first Wii Sports was really janky without the Wii Motion Plus. Just sometimes randomly the Wii remote would just spaz out of nowhere. And obviously this shit came out in 2009. It was still gonna happen in Wii Sports Resort. But it did happen less frequently with Wii Sports Resort. Like, this game was so good, like even my parents would play it with me sometimes. That was literally the whole reason why they bought a Wii. When this shit dropped, they had to buy one. Avengers Endgame. Now, this shit broke so many records, it wasn't even funny. Like, it grossed $2 billion worldwide. $2 billion. Like, that is crazy. And I remember there were so many people seeing this shit on opening weekend. I remember trying to get a ticket for opening weekend and it just didn't happen. And this shit really did live up to the hype. It was a 3-hour long movie. I don't even think I looked away from the screen once. I don't even think I checked my phone once. I was just very engaged the entire movie. Because sometimes when I'm in the movie theater, bro, like, I just get so tired because the lights are off. My ass just falls right asleep. But this time, I didn't. Avengers Endgame really was peak cinema. And now the ending, yeah, the ending was very heartbreaking, but still, it was a peak movie, and it was a good way to end the movie. Like, I was dead ass crying when this shit ended. And also, I was a new gen fan, too. So I wasn't really informed on all the lore or anything like that, but still, I really did enjoy Infinity War and Endgame. And it's still talked about today. Like, there are so many memes of the movie that still go viral. And I think they have 2 more movies planned for 2026 and 2027, which will be pretty cool to see. Back to the Future 2. Now, honestly, out of all of the Back to Future movies, this one was my favorite. 1 is just an absolute classic. 2 is peak, and then 3 was also really good. Because I really like how they evolved on the concept in the second movie. At first, Marty had to save his future son from, I think he was gonna, like, get arrested or something. So they had to go to the future, save him, and then they returned back to 1985. Now, his arch nemesis Biff, the older version of himself, grabbed this sports almanac because they overheard them talking about time travel and shit like that. And he gave it to his younger self. And he became like this multi-millionaire by the time they got back to 1985 off of sports betting. So they had to go back to 1955 to try to retrieve the book from Biff. And once again, it's just a continuation of the main storyline. So that's why I feel like they really delivered here. Now we got Run 2 and Run 3. That's a crazy way to transition from Back to the Future to Run. That's insane, but hear me out though. Run 2 and 3 were just peak, bro. Like, I was just playing these games all the time on my computer at school. They really carried me through school and even college as well. Like, they still are carrying me currently. And the reason why I put Run 3, obviously, because they got all these characters. They got the bunny, the lizard, the angel, and they all got different abilities. Like, the lizard jumps higher, but but move slower. I would pick my characters differently depending on the level. I don't think I ever got most of the characters. Like, there was one that was holding a balloon, I think, and then there was one called the Duplicator, which honestly, looking at the gameplay of it, it just looks so confusing. But yeah, I was just sticking with the basic characters like the lizard and the skater. Like, I don't think I was using any of these crazy ass ones. To my knowledge, I think you had to buy a bunch of them to unlock them, and I didn't even want to bother buying them, so I was just like, whatever. And they also had a bunch of different paths. I think Run 2 also had some paths, and on the paths, some of the paths were like impossible to beat, but I'd somehow beat all of them. I don't know how the hell I did it. I guess I just had that much free time on my hands. But yeah, now we got Red Dead 2. Nowadays, when people talk about Rockstar games, it's mostly about GTA 6 news. Wait, how the did I forget GTA? All right, anyways. But when Red Dead 2 dropped, everybody was talking about it. Like, the improvement on the graphics was just crazy. And it was also more of like an open world and exploration-based game, while Red Dead 1 is more fast-paced gameplay. I've played a little bit of the second game, but to be honest with you, I've never played the first one. And now the same time Red Dead 2 dropped, that's when they started developing GTA 6. And from what I've seen so far, it seems like they're doing a lot of work on the graphics. So when this shit drops, like, it's gonna be insane. And of course, we gotta put the GTA series on this list. Like, they just kept setting the bar higher every single game. And of course, I'm very much expecting that with GTA 6 as well. I've only played 5. I'm gonna be honest. That's the only one I've ever played. So I'm pretty much a new gen GTA fan. But you know what? That's okay, because I'm still anticipating this GTA 6 drop. But if you like this video, you'll like this one about the worst fan bases of all time. Just click on it.